Hi again. Here we are to continue talking about React Native. And what I'd like to do in this video is come back to our components and talk just a little bit more about the components. Okay. So this is our project so far. And I've got a view, and then it contains a text object and a couple more views. And essentially what I'm doing here is I'm composing, right? I'm taking one view and I'm adding other views to it. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to make a component that maybe contains some of these other things, right? So let's imagine we want to draw, a special title, and the title will have some features to it that we want to use. So, imagine like the text should be in the middle, and you should be able to set the text, and the title should have a certain height and a background color and that kind of stuff, right? So why don't we make a new component? And then we'll review the setup of the component again. So I'll go to my components folder and make a new file, and I'll call it, how about titlebar.js. Okay, this is my habit, is I name the file names with a dash, but I make the class or identifier names camel case. Okay, and in the case of components, it's always an uppercase, but I don't use the uppercase when I name the file. Okay, that's just how I'm going to do it. You can decide on your own naming convention. So I'll save that, and then what we'll do is we'll say import React from React. And again, we could copy this from one of the other files, but I'll just type it now as a, kind of just as a learning habit, right? So what do I need here? I'll need the text object and the view object and the style sheet object. And we'll import these from React Native. Okay, so now let's create a component. Again, this will be a simple component, so we'll say const title bar equals, and then a simple component is just a function. So we'll just write a fat arrow function here, and this will have a view object in it. Actually, we got to say return first. So we'll return, and then this might have a couple lines of code in it, so I'll need to use the parentheses. And there we go, right? So there's our view. And then what I want to do is I want to put a title in the center of the view. So what I'll do is I'll use the text object here. Okay. And then maybe we'll add a couple styles. So we'll say const. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's make sure we export this, right? So what we'll do is we'll say export default title bar. And now let's add our style sheet. So let's say const styles equal style sheet dot create. And then we'll put an object in here and we'll set our styles. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that my title bar, goes all the way across the top there. So what I'll do is I'll say, let's make it a container. I'll add a container property, and we'll give it a flex of 1, and then a height of, I don't know, how tall is that title bar? Is it 80 pixels? Maybe that's too tall. So I'll do 80, and then we'll give it maybe a background color of, make it sort of a dark gray. I don't know, maybe that's dark enough there. And then we'll need a style for the title, right? So I'll add a comma here and then create another key. And we'll give this, let's give this a flex of 1, a font size of 18, font weight of bold, and color of maybe like a light gray. Okay, and you know what? Let's align it on the center. So we'll say text align center, right? And now we have these two styles here. Oops, I made a mistake there. So we have these two styles. Let's apply them up here. So we'll say, you know, style equals curly braces, and then we'll use our styles object, and for the outer element we'll call it container, and then style equals curly braces styles dot title. So that'll be our title. Okay, so this component is set up kind of like the other one. We've got one problem though, is we want to put a title here, right? But we want the title to be flexible. So if we create a copy of this component somewhere, we want to be able to tell the component what the title will be. Okay, so this is a really important piece of the component structure. Is a feature called props. Okay, so in a simple component, a component that's made up of a function, only a function, right? Props is accepted as the parameter to that function. So I'll put, and really like this could be any variable name, but this is the name that people always use for this, and they'll refer to it this way in the documentation. So we'll call it props, right? And this is a JavaScript object, and it has other properties attached to it. So let's imagine that we're going to attach, you know, a text property to this. So what I'll do here is inside the text object there, I'll include the curly braces, and then I'll say props.text. Okay? So when we assign the text to this props object, that will be the text that's displayed inside the text object. Okay? Maybe instead of text, let's call it title. How about that, right? So the title will be displayed inside the text object. Maybe that'll make it easier to talk about, right? Even though this title, you know, is different from this one, right? This is the style for the title. This is the actual text of the title. Okay, so we've got our component there. I might have to do a little more work on this. I think I got it, but let's see. So how are we going to use this new title bar component inside our app? Well, I'm going to go to the app.js again. And just like we did in index.ios, right, I imported the app component from components. What we'll do is we'll go to title bar, or we'll go to app.js, and we'll say import title bar from, and again with components that we create we have to include a path, so I'll do /. This is in the components folder, but title bar is also in the components folder, so I don't need to include the folder name, right? So I'll say title-bar, and I don't need the .js. So I like this, but what I want to do is I want to put the title at the top here. So I'll say title bar. Okay, and now remember title bar. Let's give that a little test. See if I made any errors there. Right? Oh, there we go. So there's my title bar. Maybe it's a little too tall. It doesn't have a title yet because remember we have to set that property, right? So if I look at title bar here, you can see it's looking for props.title. So if I want to set this title property, what I'll do in app, or anywhere that I have a title bar, I can add an attribute that is the name of the property that I want to set, and I can put the value in here. So I want this value to say, you know, my app or something, right? I'll say actually we'll just call it example1. Okay, so by doing this, what we're doing is we're assigning a property on the props object that will be a string with the text example1. And inside the title bar, we will access that same property off of the props object that gets passed in over here. Okay, so let's give it a try. So I'll refresh it, and there it says example1. So I actually got to move the text down here, and maybe this is too tall, but that should help you out and get you started there. And that's how we work with a simple component. Regular components also get props, okay? So essentially, like, props are values that you're going to use to configure your component, okay? Components can also have state, or stateful components can have state. Simple components don't get state, but state is is the other feature of components, and we'll do that in another video. But props essentially are the values that let you configure your component. Okay, so these are things that you want to use to describe the component and tell the component how it should display itself and do the things that it does. And you can see I've made a title bar here with a title, and I could reuse this component anywhere in my project and give it a different title every time, right? Because the title comes in as a prop. Right? Okay. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope that is informative for you.